All right, so I'm sitting here with Tom Stockham, and he's going to tell you a little bit about his company and then his opportunity space and how he decided to start up this whole company. All right, are you ready, Tom?
I'm ready. So, company is called Experticity, and we started this actually now several years ago, and the founding story of the business was that I was busy as usual, and I got a call from my brother who said, "Hey, let's go on a bike ride. Let's go up and ride the Crest Trail." And I said, "Are you kidding? I have no time to take out in the middle of my day and go up and ride the Crest Trail."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "No, look, dude, it is so beautiful, and the leaves are amazing, and we've really got to get up there and take advantage of this. This is a rare opportunity." So I went, and when I got there were 9 other people, that all of whom were too busy to be there. But he talked them into going on this ride, and then I noticed that 9 out of the 10 people were riding Santa Cruz bikes, and I thought, wow, my brother is this guy who's had this influence on these people to break away from their lives and go out and do some fun thing, and he's inspired all of us that buying a Santa Cruz bike would make our biking lives better, and yet Santa Cruz has no idea he exists, and he gets no love for this role he plays in making all of our lives better. And I thought, we should fix that. We should, how could you put that in a bottle? How could you package that up and make that tangible? And so we set about building Experticity. Our mission is to identify, empower, and reward all of the people whose passion, experience, and knowledge makes them the source of advice and inspiration about what to buy and do. And so anyway, we started on that path now several years ago, and here we are now with hundreds of brand clients. Brands pay us to tap into these passionate experts who the world seeks out for advice and recommendations. Mm-hmm. And these people do it not because they're getting paid or not because they need a little vig or anything like that. They just do it because they want you to love the thing they love. It could be fashion, it could be cooking, it could be pets, it could be photography, it could be biking. These people want to share their passion, and because they are just so into it, everyone seeks them out for advice. Mm-hmm. They become the person that everyone turns to for advice. We've now built a network of more than 1 million of these experts. Wow. Who we've credentialed, and we add new credentials to their profiles every day. Mm-hmm. And we think that if we're successful, we become this transforming force in the way commerce works. Mm-hmm. Retail is changing so quickly, stores are closing and those kinds of things, mm-hmm. and no one wants more advertising. We're getting really good at ignoring advertising, all of us. No human is saying, "Ooh, could you advertise to me some more?" And in a world where physical retail and retail in general is just changing so quickly and no one wants more advertising, what do we all want? We want help from people who we can trust for advice.
Who know what they're doing.
So anyway, that's what it is.
Yeah, see, so that's really awesome. And the cool part about that too is with my job at Snowbird, that's been a big part of Snowbird as well, is through Experticity we are able to get gear and things like that, and then we can talk to the kids that we're teaching and things like that, which is really awesome. And
they look up to you and they say, "Well, if Jade's wearing that, that's gotta be the right thing," and they go and they feel more confident.
Or their parents, the ones who they're like, "I don't know what to give my little kid," or "I don't know which skis to buy them." We can be like, "Oh, I got this really cool brand for you."
Yeah.
And so it
benefits. I know more about it. I own it.
Yeah, so that's really cool. All right, so I guess my next couple questions, it's kind of a big cluster of them, is basically the first one would be, how does value and use affect your business? So we talked a little bit before this about value and use and the separate values to get a deeper understanding, but basically it's more just your company right now and Do you want a better further explanation, or do you have a...
Well, so if I understood correctly, it's just what is our exchange of value with our customers,
yes,
and how are they using us?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we think of ourselves as having two sets of customers.
Okay.
We have the customers who are the brands who pay us,
Mm-hmm.
and we have our customers who are the experts, and they really are at the core of our value and
exchange.
our existence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the brands, the product companies like the North Face or others,
Mm-hmm.
what we're doing is saying to them, hey, look, you're relying on a whole bunch of people who you'll never meet,
Mm-hmm.
to be your voice, to be your mouthpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to ask them for recommendations about brands and products like yours. We can help those people become more likely to recommend you.
Mm-hmm.
And we can help make them smarter about you. We can help give them firsthand experience with your products. And pay us,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll help you build a relationship with these people and help them be smarter and better about your products and brands.
Yeah.
We'll also help you get insights, learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
They have deeper insights about what you could do to improve your brand than other people.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll help you amplify what they do.
Mm-hmm.
If they're typically great creators of content, so we'll gather, for example, photographs they do that you can use on your Instagram marketing and things like that.
Yeah.
But typically a senior marketer is our customer.
Okay.
And the brand is paying us because it's really hard by any other means for them to build a relationship with these people
Mm-hmm.
who are their mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And are their most passionate advocates.
Mm-hmm.
For the expert, we're helping to get on the inside with the brand. So if you are really passionate about skiing, for example, in the snowbird example,
Mm-hmm.
part of what drives you is, and part of your motivation set is just, man, there are these brands that fuel your passion. They are the thing that helps you do the thing you love most.
Mm-hmm.
And we can help get you on the inside. We
Mm-hmm.
can help you get information that other people can't get. We can help you get access to buy directly from the brand,
Mm-hmm.
typically at wholesale.
Okay.
And we can make your voice more clearly heard by that brand. The brand will now know you, and
Yeah.
when you say something,
They'll listen.
They'll listen in a different way. So
Mhm.
that's kind of the value exchange.
Okay, cool. I guess now we're going to distribution. So basically, like for instance, I guess we'll go on with your products and things like that in all of your different companies that are a part of Experticity and going to the experts and things like that. How do you make that an easy transition from your group of companies that are basically wanting these people as their mouthpiece or as
Yeah.
their voice?
Yeah.
You know, how do you go about making that an easy transition between those two people?
So this one I'm not sure I understand. I think when you say distribution, I
Mm-hmm.
think of like how do we get our customers, how do we acquire them, and how do we get our products to them?
Yes.
So for our brand customers,
Yeah.
we reach out. We'll look at an industry like culinary, for example, and we'll
Mhm.
start saying, okay, well, who are the most interesting brands in that space?
Okay.
And then we'll start going and calling them.
Mhm.
Or, I mean, there are more elegant things to do, but it's kind of that thing. We start trying to make them aware
Yeah.
that we exist and we have a solution for them. So brands like Allclad and Wusthof and Calphalon and KitchenAid and DeLonghi and a bunch of those brands are our clients now.
Okay.
But in the beginning, we just had to go and say, oh, are you relying on people that you don't know
Mhm.
to recommend your products and drive your sales? We can help.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot of that, a lot of outreach through media. We'll go speak at conferences. We'll go make phone calls.
Mhm.
We'll put internet ads on the internet and to drive leads, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
For experts, most of what happens is word of mouth.
Okay.
Like how did you find out about us?
Through Snowbird and also just through, word of mouth. probably more friends and family kinds of things.
Someone said, "Oh, you're on the you should get this thing. It will totally sort you out. You will have pro forma access to hundreds of brands." That is a pretty compelling thing.
It is.
And people hear about that, and then they download our app, and then they start giving us evidence of their expertise. You know, do you actually work at Snowbird, or are you just trying to get the deals?
Yeah, so, for sure. Yeah. Anyway. And then also, like, along with, you know, say, because I know, don't you have a couple of experts in your group of people that, kind of in your network, that basically they're not necessarily with one organization, but they're expert in their own way of, like, you know, like with fashion, like, how do you know for sure? Does it have to be like a person with a company, or does it have to, or is it like someone who just shows and proves to you that they are, you know?
So as I said, we have more than 1 million of these experts, and they're all normal people, and evidence of their expertise might be where they work, or it might be they graduated from a fashion institute, or it might be that they we run these head-to-head competitions where people compete, and winners you know, are become part of our network. It's basically, we just try and create credentials that enable someone who would say, I think I'm an expert in fashion, to express and show evidence of their expertise. It could be projects they've worked on. It could be, who knows what.
Anything that can prove to you.
Exactly right. And that's part of the challenge of our business, is we constantly try and learn, well, what is the evidence that someone's an expert in photography or skiing or fashion?
Yeah. So I guess that's a pretty good segue into the whole value in finance and fitness. So finance is basically like where you are now and how you got to this point and how you feel like, you know, you are now compared to where you started. And so what would you say, like, you know, from that first day you went biking to now, you know, how far you've come and everything that you've accomplished, and, you know, your whole, basically with your finances mainly.
So when we started, we're like any company, you don't have a lot, you start. My deep belief is that the best money a company can take is customer money. Like, if someone's willing to pay you for your product, that's a great thing. If no one's willing to pay you for your product, you don't have a company. So people who go and try and raise money for things that are not even selling a product yet, that's a scary place to be. But we've raised some money from outside investors too along the way. Most of our money by far over time has come from our customers, though. And we do now tens of millions in revenue every year. But we aspire to do billions of dollars in revenue every year. And we really do believe that these experts and helping insert into people's commerce experience real, trusted advice, recommendations, reviews is a transformational force in commerce. And so we're going to go keep building this.
Good.
Always with experts at the center.
That's a good way to be. So yeah, I guess that's kind of a pretty good answer for also, you know, fitness and like longevity of your company and things like that. You want to keep aspiring and building on top of those experts. Look, and things.
My view is this, and I said it a little bit off the top. That most, and I'll reframe it a little bit, but most of retail, most of the stuff you and I buy at a store, it could be at a REI, it could be at a photography store, it could be at Nordstrom, wherever it is. Most of that stuff, for the past 50 years, most of the retailers have focused on price, like, you know, do they have the lowest prices? Variety, how many different items do they have in the store? And logistics, like, oh, well, how quickly can I get it to you? And those kinds of things. And that's true, by the way, of Amazon. That's true of Nordstrom. That's true of REI. That's true of Target. That's true of whatever.
Yeah.
What they haven't focused very much on is expertise. Like, is there someone there actually who can help you make the right decision about what to buy?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you paid attention this week and saw Nordstrom's announcement about a store that actually has no inventory. Like,
oh, really?
The whole store is just dedicated to expertise. Experts. It's a fashion consultant.
Wow.
In the store. And they'll put stuff together for you, and then they'll order it and get it for you. It's a really interesting, to me, it's a really interesting realization that there is something different to do in retail and commerce, and it is to center around expertise. Well, we think that is the future. Again, no human wants any more advertising. I think we're all getting really good at ignoring ads. There are no ads in my Game of Thrones episodes. I fast forward over the ads on television. I don't even see the parts of my computer screen that are dedicated to ads.
Well, now with, things like Netflix and Hulu and HBO Go, there are no ads. You
pay to have them not be there.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're happily. So I think advertising is dollars that have been spent on advertising are going to shift away because no one wants them. No one wants ads. It's not that they're going to go away altogether. It's just that no person wants more of them. Dollars are going to shift to where people are going. And people are going to go look for expertise. Like, how do I find someone that I can trust who will help me make the right decision about spending my hard-earned money? Yeah. So I just think that's a big trend for the next decade and beyond. And so I'm really excited about where we're going.
I totally agree. I think that's really awesome, especially with everything that's going on with, stores and things like that, house stores. And they're saying that, like, within the next couple years that malls and things like that are just going to become, not, like, no one's going to really ever go there. They're not going to be very useful to people anymore because online shopping is such a big thing now. Yeah. That also, like, you're right, like, where do you find, because usually you're used to going into a store and being like, what's cool, what's new, what's going on? And you can't really find that in any way, especially since we're so trying to ignore advertising and everything like that. Yeah. And, we're pushing all that away. So that's really awesome. So I guess my last question is, do you have any advice for future entrepreneurs and things like that with different ideas that are going on in the world and, starting up companies and things? Yeah,
my main advice is if you think you may want to go try to build something and be entrepreneurial, go try to build something and be entrepreneurial. Just go do it. You can't theorize your way into what it is. You can't imagine your way into what it is. You have to just go do it. So go
and then it
for
becomes what it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today and everything. Awesome. Good. Well, sweet. We're done.